The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
All right, beautiful people, man. Good evening to you. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on the new Black Wall Street book club After Dark series. Thanks so much, man. We're going to be here for probably 30 to 45 minutes. Basically going through here I'm trying to get my Instagram up. Basically going through the University of Success. We are now into lesson number 19, which is going to cover how to be enthusiastic and stay that way. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, A Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. All right, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can pick up your copy today, man. Well, shout out to you guys. Again, we are just going to do a roll call real quick, find out who's joined us here tonight as we are going to do our new Black Wall Street Book Club After Dark series. Now, we switched from mornings to evenings for a particular reason. We found that reading at night, reading in the morning typically is for inspiration and for motivation, get your day going. But reading at night is all about capturing and meditation and capturing and activation, I would say, also activating your subconscious mind. So you'll find, if this is your first time with us here tonight, you may find something very interesting as you read with us tonight before you may go to bed. But let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, beautiful people, what city, what state, what country you might be connected from here tonight. We're broadcasting across the World Wide Web and Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. I'd love to know just how far our reach is here tonight. Go ahead and hit the like button, share button, tag button, subscribe button, hit the heart button, whatever buttons you can press to make the internet go crazy, because you got Black folk who are actually going to read together and discuss together and all that good stuff as well. What's going on with you, man? How are you, brother? Mr. Baldhead, I believe out of Chicago. You're out of Chicago. You Detroit, Chicago, something like that. I know you're from the Midwest. Got to be. What's going on with you? It's me, It's me, Gabby. It's me, Gabby, on Instagram, out of Baltimore. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street Book Club After Dark. Miss Amanda Hollingworth is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us as well out of Atlanta. And again, guys, I don't want to take up too much time because we'll get right into this thing here. So Instagram, you guys will be able to see the book itself. Again, it's not about, first of all, it's about deciding to read. Second is about what you read. And this is a book called The University of Success. And it's built as a lesson plan for us to go through, almost like college. Yeah, almost like college if you attended college. So we're in lesson number 19. And this is going to come from a W. Clement Stone. Now, I'm super excited to read this because once you hear that name, you know it's about to be fire. Okay. W. Clement Stone, if you don't know who that is, that was a mentor to Dennis Kimbrough, one of the great Black authors of our day. He hung around. He was around the time with Napoleon Hill when he wrote all the Think and Grow Rich and all that stuff. So W. Clement Stone is a pretty prominent figure as it relates to self-help, motivation, inspiration, all that good stuff. So we'll get right into that thing here tonight, how to be enthusiastic and stay that way. Now, I like to say it like this, guys. What turns you on? What lights your fire? What really gets you going each and every day? What are you working towards? What are you looking to build? What do you look forward to each and every day? I believe that helps keep the light on. I think Motel 6 says we'll leave the light on for you. We will leave the light on for you. Well, why don't you leave your light on for the rest of the world? Why don't you leave your light on for the rest of the world? Now, here's a thought from this chapter. It says this: no matter how carefully you plan your goals, there will never be more than pipe dreams unless you pursue them with gusto. No matter how carefully you plan your goals, there will never be more than pipe dreams unless you pursue them with gusto. Now we're talking about action, beautiful people. Now we're talking about action and the energy or the energy that you put behind your dreams to make them or to bring them to manifestation or bring them to reality. W. Clement Stone, lesson number 19, how to become enthusiastic and stay that way. How to become enthusiastic and stay that way. New Black Wall Street Book Club After Dark series. Spend a little time at night to keep our everlasting mind right. Let's read. Chances are that if you are asked to define a quitter, you will probably say that he or she is a person who gives up too easily. Have you ever wondered why some individuals hang on against all odds until they turn certain defeat into victory while others abandon the race, sometimes in sight of the finish line? Is bravery the guts to endure, to get up off the canvas, to stick to something until it's completed, an inherited trait? No. Then what's the big difference between the person who perseveres and the person who quits? Enthusiasm. If you think back on your life, you'll agree that whenever you lost your enthusiasm for any activity, you also lost your desire to keep working at it. And when that happened, it was eventually pushed aside. You didn't call it quitting, but that's what it was. In many minor matters, your quitting didn't really matter so much. But in your major life functions, such as marriage or career, the results are often disastrous. Is there a danger that you might even lose your enthusiasm to work as hard as necessary to change your life for the better? Yes, you can lose your enthusiasm for anything, unless you know how to keep those flames of ambition constantly burning inside of you. Everybody put in console, keep the flames burning. You can lose your enthusiasm for anything, unless you know how to keep those flames of ambition constantly burning inside of you. W. Clement Stone, beginning as a newsboy on the sidewalks of Chicago, built the largest insurance company of its kind in the world once he learned and applied the secret of generating enthusiasm within and maintaining it until he accomplished goal after goal. From the pages of his magazine, Success Unlimited, he shows you how, providing you a perspective enough to spot his secrets. So this is W. Clement Stone coming from, he had a magazine back in his day called Success Unlimited. Had a magazine called Success Unlimited. Keep the flames burning inside. Keep the flames burning inside. As a house guest on many occasions, Father John O'Brien, research professor of theology at Notre Dame University, and I spent many delightful hours exchanging ideas. I recall a discussion on enthusiasm in which I stated enthusiasm is one of the most important factors necessary for success in selling. Enthusiasm is one of the most important factors necessary for success in selling. Yes, he responded, the first ingredient, which I believe is absolutely necessary for a successful, efficient, and competent salesman or individual is enthusiasm. What is your meaning of enthusiasm, I asked. He replied, I think you would be interested in knowing what the etymology, the derivation of this word, which is so widely used, really is. It comes from two Greek words, and they let you look into the root of this word, into its basic, fundamental, original meaning. The first is theos, which means God. The other two words are entai, so that in the early usage of this term among the ancient Greeks, it literally meant God within you. The divine being who is author and source of all goodness and beauty and truth, honesty and love. God is in the heart of the individual who is possessed by a vision, who burns with ardor, and who is determined to make a dream come true. God is there. God is kindling the fire. It is being kindled by God himself. He hesitated with an expression of deep thought and continued. On one occasion, Newt Rockne was visiting at the hospital beside one of the most gifted and brilliant players who ever walked upon the strip field of Notre Dame Stadium. He had all the evidence of a fatal illness. His name was George Gibb. He was named the Gipper. He's a legend for us. The Gipper brings inspiration and joy, hope, courage to every player who wears the uniform of Notre Dame. George Gibb is the only man of whom it has been said that he never allowed a pass to be completed by an opponent in his territory. After a brief talk in which Rockne knelt at his bedside and prayed to Almighty God to give George the courage and the strength to face the greatest event of his life, his departure, George Gibb looked up at him and said, Rock, it's tough to go now. This was toward the latter part of the football season. It's tough to go now, but someday, he said, when the going is tough and the breaks are beating our players, tell them to go in and win one more for the Gipper. I don't know where I'll be, but I do know this, that I shall know of its occurrence. About 5 years later, when Notre Dame was playing his favorite adversary back in those days, 30 years ago, the Army, Knute Rockne had one of the weakest teams he had ever coached at Notre Dame. The score at the end of the first half was 21-7 in favor of the Army. When the players trooped off the field into the locker room at intermission between the halves, Rockne told them the story of the Gipper. With all the sincerity and emotion he knew how to express. As he said, boys, I know that the conditions are fulfilled which would justify me in telling you the story of the Gipper. I've never told it to you before, but the time has come. I know that the going has been tough today. Unfortunate breaks have been beating you down. You feel licked, but you must now regain the pride that has forever graced the player that wore the honored colors of Notre Dame, the Gipper. He told the story of George Gibbs' last words to him, and then in a commanding voice said, let's go out there with enthusiasm and win one more for the Gipper. The players were emotionalized. They rushed from the locker room. They played as men transformed. They hit, they ran, they passed, they blocked, they transcended their known abilities. Rockne later said, I have never seen a team of such mediocre talent play with such courage, such vigor, such zeal, and such enthusiasm. And when the shadows settled upon that field that dark day in November, the score, Army West Point 21, Notre Dame 28. If you walk into the locker rooms where the athletes dress, you will find on a bronze tablet those words. When the going gets tough and the breaks are beating our boys, go in there and win one more for the Gipper. It is that spirit which I think year after year has taken players of rather mediocre ability, transformed them, given them a courage and an enthusiasm without which no battle of any importance can be won. And here's our section here, develop enthusiasm at will. Develop enthusiasm at will. Whoever you may be, executive, lawyer, doctor, teacher, sales manager, superintendent, foreman, athletic coach, priest, or rabbi, you will have many struggles and battles of importance in influencing others, achieving your desirable goals, and eliminating your undesirable habits. You will win or lose depending upon your willingness to pay the price. Everybody put in the console, pay the price. To pay the price to regularly engage in thinking and planning time and to use your mind power to develop a truly positive mental attitude and eliminate the negative. No battle of any importance can be won without enthusiasm. How do you develop enthusiasm, you may ask? Well, here's my response. Number one, to become enthusiastic for achieving a desirable goal, keep your mind on your goal day after day. The more worthy and desirable your objective, the more dedicated and enthusiastic you will become. The more worthy and desirable of your objective, the more dedicated and enthusiastic you will become. So keep your mind on your goals. That's why keeping your goals in front of you is a good practice. Keep it in your purse, keep it on your mirror, keep it in your car. Keep thinking about what you want all the day long. Keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it. Keep it in front of you. Keep your mind on your goals. Everybody put that in the comments below. Keep my mind on my goals. Now, it's very hard to do if you don't have any goals. If you don't have anything that you're trying to accomplish here on the earth, it's very hard to keep your mind on that. But why don't you first start by establishing something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish, something you want to build, something you want to acquire. I don't know what you want. What I do know is it becomes very easy. It comes more quickly to you when you keep your mind on it. Your mind is like a magnet. You can attract into your life that which you want if you keep it magnetized, so to speak. Keep your mind on what you want. I would also say because you keep your mind on what you want, you'll notice it when it comes. I'm here to tell you that some things that you have prayed for, that you have wanted in this life have actually come across your pathway, but you did not notice it when it came. Because it may not come in the form that you thought it was going to come. It may didn't come from the person that you thought it was going to come from. But you have gotten what you wanted. I can tell you that. That if to not have gotten what you wanted, that means that the law itself would be false, that you can ask and you receive. So I'm going to trust that when you ask, you did receive. But maybe your mind state really didn't notice it when it came. And so you might not have saw it as a blessing. You might have saw it as a curse. You might have just dismissed it because it didn't come as you thought it would. Didn't come from who you thought it would. Didn't look like what you thought it would. Same way they looked at Jesus. When Jesus walked this earth, so to speak, he did not look like the people who looked like who the people thought he looked like. He didn't come in the fancy robes. He didn't come as a king, so to speak, as we have looked at a king. So quite possibly the things that you've asked for, prayed for, wanted in your life hasn't come the way in your mind they thought they would come. And you've overlooked them, dismissed them, bypassed them without even knowing it. Keep your mind on your goals. Number 2, understand and act on Professor William James' statement. The emotions are not always immediately subject to reason, but they are always immediately subject to action. The emotions are not always immediately subject to reason, but they are always immediately subject to action. Here's where rubber meets the road. Start doing something about it. You start doing something about the things that you want. You start going after the things that you want. You start making the phone calls. You start putting in the work. Some kind of way, that stuff that we call emotions, some kind of way, that thing that we might call fear turns to the face. Some kind of way, your actions will lead your emotions to begin to operate how you like for them to operate. What happens when you start working on your goals? Don't you feel better about it? Don't you feel like you're making progress? Don't you feel like you're making some? Don't you feel like you're making some progress or something? How's that feel? Now, how's it feel when you're not working on your goals? Does it feel like you still got something left to do? Don't you feel a little disappointed that you're not making as much progress as you like to make? Just think about it for a second. How does it feel? How do you feel when you actually are making progress towards that which you said you want versus when you're not making progress towards that which you say that you want? Might be time for some action. Might be time for you to actually do something more than you talk about. I've talked about it long enough. Number 3, illustration. Say you're called upon to make a speech before a few thousand persons and you're not experienced in public speaking. You will be timid and afraid. To get up on the platform to speak, you can use the self-motivators that appeal to reason, such as success is achieved by those who try. And where there's nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain if successful, by all means try. Then use the self-starter, do it now. Everybody put in console, do it now. Do it now. And immediately get into action. Walk up to the podium. When you get there, you may be under the emotion of fear. To neutralize this fear, talk loudly, rapidly. Emphasize important words. Hesitate where there's a period, comma, or other punctuation in the written word. Keep a smile in your voice and then use modulation. When the butterflies stop flying in your stomach, you can talk just as enthusiastically in the conversational tone. It works 100 times out of 100. It works 100 times out of 100. How to become enthusiastic and stay that way, from the book, University of Success. So number 1, you want to keep your mind on your goals. Number 2, you want to start doing something about those goals, working towards it. A little bit here, a little bit there, doesn't matter, as long as you're making progress each and every day. And it looks like here you can step up to the plate, do it now. And here's a 4th point to help you become enthusiastic and stay that way. Professor James pointed out a universal truth that feelings, moods, and emotions will follow action. Let me say that again. Feelings, moods, and emotions will follow action. This is so very important to understand. So very important. Because you know what? We see so many people. They want stuff out of life. They want this. They want that. They talk about this. They talk about that. They never do any action. And then they have all these mixed emotions about what it is that they're talking about. Maybe it's taking too long for it to come based upon what they think. Maybe they're waiting on something. I don't know. But feelings, moods, and emotions. Let's talk about some of these feelings and these moods that we have as it relates to the things we say we want. Fear, worry, anxiety, stress. Those are all feelings that you may feel when you're not making progress towards that which you say that you want. But what happens when you go to work? What happens when you burn the midnight oil? What happens when you have a day? How do you feel? See, that's why I'm not a real big feeling guy, because I know they can change every day. They can change at the snap of a finger. You can feel good today and then feel bad in an hour. I never let my feelings direct my path. Feelings, moods, and emotions will follow action. And we can also say it will follow inaction. Oh, you didn't do anything yesterday? No wonder why you don't feel good today. Had nothing to do with you waking up this morning. Has everything to do with what you didn't accomplish yesterday. Oh, your mood's pretty down? Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the actions that you've been doing over the past few days, the past few weeks. We might find you ain't been doing much. No wonder why your mood's a little sully. Right? Feelings, moods, and emotions will follow action. Now, if you find this to be true, you might start to evaluate or research or look into how you're feeling. You wake up one day, you feel a certain way, you might start thinking about that thing. Man, why do I feel this way? Well, have I been making any progress towards that which it is I say that I want? Have I been making progress towards living the life I say I want to live? If you want to be enthusiastic, act enthusiastically. Now, how many guys would agree with this statement that enthusiasm is contagious? Enthusiasm is a magnet. I mean, when you're enthusiastic, when we call it passionate now, enthusiastic. When you're happy and you know it, you clap your hands, right? It begins to attract people. People are attracted. Listen, people are attracted to happy people. People are attracted to people that are going somewhere, that are doing something in this world. It brings attraction. And what people are attracted to, they typically spend their money on. So if you can attract people with your mesmerizing personality, if you can attract people just by being happy that you're working towards the things that you want to do in this life, you will be amazed at the support that you'll get. You'll be amazed at the money that you make. If you just start working, start putting some action behind your words. You know what people are tired of? I can tell you what people are tired of. People are tired of people who all they do is talk. I'm tired of people and all you do is talk. I can't hang around those people. I can't have conversations with those people because all they do is talk about what they're going to do. Talk about what they want to do. Talk about what they don't have. All they do is talk, which is a waste of time. Now, I get it if it's a constructive discussion and, you need to release it, need to vent it, need to get it out. But idle chatter leads only to poverty. Idle chatter leads only to poverty. Show me the person who talks but does not do. I'll show you a broke, busted, and disgusted individual. Show me the person who does but don't talk that much. I'll show you a successful, wise, rich person. Big George Fraser from Power Network Conference, he said this, man, when all is said and done, and this is what we'll find in many people's life, when all is said and done, there'll be more said than done. Well, I don't want you to be the individual who say, you know what, there's more done in my life than said. I do more than I talk. I show with my results. I show with my completion. I show with my effort. I show with my try. And my feelings and my emotions and my moods, they follow my action. I feel good because I do good. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I feel good because I do good. I sow good seeds. I reap good rewards. I feel good because I do good. I feel bad because I've done bad. Right? Now that bad could be nothing. Here's the thing. Bad, you can do good or you cannot do good. Inaction is bad. Drifting is bad. Coasting is bad. Doesn't mean that you done something real negative to somebody else. You just haven't done enough for yourself. That's bad. You had more in the tank. That's bad. You didn't leave it all on the line. That's bad. I do good. I feel good because I do good. I feel bad because I do bad. You can make a decision at any point in time to start putting in the work to get the things that you want and to, I can say, stave off, to keep yourself from losing your enthusiasm about a particular subject, about a particular person, about a particular situation, about your goals, about your dreams, about your aspirations. You keep working on it, you'll complete it. And when you complete it, you'll feel better. Well, beautiful people, that's our time tonight here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. How to become enthusiastic and stay that way. Out of the book, University of Success, written by Mandino. We spend our time at night just reading just a little bit to keep our everlasting mind right. And hopefully you've taken something away, some point that's going to stick with you here today, here tonight on this terrific Tuesday. I'm your host, CRGJ, your certified global financial educator. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until the next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.